Hello, YouTube and X. It's your main man, BTM here, bringing you back to the BTM Crypto News Network. So thanks for joining. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe and super chat. And as the title says, XRP has something big coming. XRP will be one of the biggest cryptos soon. So people already said it's going to flip Ethereum. Now I'm seeing where people are talking about it's going to flip Bitcoin. And it makes sense because it's already one of the uh, top regulated cryptos, right? The journey for XRP has been like no other. Unlike Bitcoin and Ethereum, just been on a long journey, but XRP has been up and down. So let's start the screen share and start with the sponsor, Caleb and Brown, and then we'll get into some of the information on X and maybe look at a video or two. So let's get started. See here. So shout out to Caleb and Brown. Caleb and Brown is a crypto brokerage. Make sure you take your crypto off the exchange and put it in a self-custody wallet. I was actually talking to somebody recently about self-custodying crypto. Actually, yeah, it was my barber, and he was getting into crypto. And I was telling you guys, when your mom's sister's boyfriend's barber started talking about crypto, you know the run is beginning. So I was talking to him and I told him to get a self custody wallet as Caleb and Brown does custody crypto. And they give you 24/7 support and a one-on-one broker. So you can ask them questions, you can call them. There's an actual person. You're not going to get a automated system, a dialer, or random information. You're actually going to talk to somebody who can answer your questions. So now that's a concern for a lot of people new to crypto. And you can use my link in the description to get information about Caleb and Brown. And if you use my link, I think I get 5% on your sign up. So you actually help support the channel. And I just want to keep the lights on BTM Crypto News Network. Let's go. So keeping it moving, this is the bubbles. You can see the bubbles are pretty red today. Only thing up is Prime, which is up 56.8. Zcash is up 5.1, up 3% on the hour to 364.5, $364.54 actually. Core is up 8.1, something I'm going to start looking into. It's been doing pretty well, up 8.1% on the day, up 1.3 on the hour, down 11.6 on the week. What is this? AI XBT is up 0.3% on the hour. Hex is up 1.3. Sky's up 2.3. VNS Vision is up 1.8 on the hour to 0.095, up 6.5 on the week and 1.3 on the month. White's back in the race at 2.3. CVX is up. CVX up 1.7 on the day, 0.3 on the hour. Era Drone Financial is up 4% on the day. Luna's up 4.9. World Mobile was up big. It's up 15.9 on the week, 19.9 on the month, up 2.3 on the day, down 0.4 on the hour. Radium's up 6%. KuCoin, something we haven't been looking at, but we're bringing back, up 0.3 on the day, up 0.2 on the hour at $10.50. Hash flow is up 3.1 on the day, up 0.5 on the hour at 0.03, which is 3 cents. currently Bitwise Tile. I did grab some of that and staked it on Uphold. I think Uphold gives you a pretty good percentage on the staking for Bitwise, so you might want to check that out. Again, it's not financial advice. This is just for entertainment purposes. So Bitwise, it's down to 293. I might need to pick some more of that up. It looks like it got down to 268. It was 316. Currently, it's up 0.9. For the hour, it's up 0.7. For the week, it's down 4.1. For the month, it's down 24.8. And on the year, it is down 52.8%. And you can see here it was up to 712 and it's down to 293. I'm not a rocket scientist, but that's a pretty good pickup if it does bounce back. And look at the bubbles, the rest of the market's down. Everything's red. See here, ICP is down 2.8. Athena's down 2.4. Leo's down 7.7. XCN is down 3.6. Bitcoin is down 0.9 to 92,000. Up 0.3 on the hour. Up 0.9 on the week. Still down 7.5 on the month and down 3.7 on the year. But it is back over 90,000. That's pretty good. Strongholds down 6.6 on the day, 1.5 on the hour, at 1 cent, down 19.8 on the week, up 6.9 on the month, and down 22.9 on the year. See, we got Injustice down 2.3. Stark is down 6%. Something else I was looking at. Aster, down 1.4 on the day, up 0.3 on the hour at $1.04 from $1.08. And I think that was a movie, House of Asher. Pretty good movie. Check it out. Tao's down 3.1. H-bar's down 4.4. Ondo's down 3.4. Bear's down 4.5. XPR's down 2.6. XLM's down 1.6. Litecoin's down 2.6. XAN's down 6.2. Check out Solana. Solana's down 1.8 to 139.8, $139.87. Down 1.3 on the week, down 6.9 on the month, and 40.5 on the year. Let me see something else. ASM Assembly AI is down 4.7. Tron is up 2%. We're looking for Ethereum, actually. Well, Algo's down 2.4. ZBCN is down 3.6 on the day, up 1.1 on the hour, down 8.5 on the week, down 0.9 on the month, and still up 127 on the year at the 0.0291. Let's see here. World Mobile or World Financials. What is this? World Literacy Financial is down 1.4. There's XRP. I was looking for Ethereum real quick. Then we'll come back to XRP. Where is Ethereum? There's Fetch. Monero's down 2.2. Caspa's down 2.5. Where is Ethereum? That's weird. Okay, we'll just have to do it the old way here. So Ethereum is down 0.6 on the day, up 0.4 on the hour, up 3.3 on the week, down 1.9 on the month, down 13.6 on the year, back over 3,137. And of course, the crypto of the live stream, XRP is up 0.3 on the hour, down 4.6 on the day, down 5.3 on the week, down 2.2 on the month and 17.1 on the year. And we're back at $2. We got up to $2.21 and came back down. But this is something I did want to show you. These perspectives came in the mail. So this is Franklin Templeton. I don't know if you can see it. Came from Fidelity. Oh, wow. I guess you can't see it. Oh, that's crazy. And this is Grayscale. Pretty big document here, actually. See if we can zoom in. See if we can take this off and zoom in. Yeah, so you can see the oh man, the Grayscale. Some good reading here. I might check that out one day. And this is Franklin Templeton. If we can get the filter to cooperate with us. But yeah, if you invested in the ETFs, you should get those perspectives in the mail soon. So we'll close the bubble, see what's going on in the chat real quick, and set the screen share back. See what's going on in the chat. What up, Silver Days, BTM Crypto News Network. Silver Days, the XRP Army. Smash the like and subscribe. Thank you, Silver Days. XRP will soon work with a Zebek. Peter, yes, I think they're actually working on that. I think they're actually already integrated with Zebek. We just haven't made that announcement. I think they might change the Zebek to Zebek with an X. And I do have the image I might show you guys. What was the $30 billion token disappear about? Good question. Because it came back. So maybe it was a glitch. We think it's a glitch in the matrix, or maybe something's happening. They just don't want to tell us yet. I'm thinking a bank bought some of the rainy day. LOL, nah, but as a reserve, banks are buying Bitcoin as we speak. I did see that. And I see the government might be buying some or seizing some. I heard they didn't want to buy it, but they will definitely seize it from other individuals. So just something to keep an eye on. Before we get into X, this is an article from CoinDesk. XRP ETFs extends record inflow streak to 13 days, closing in on 1 billion with a B milestone. Oh, yeah. Wait a minute. I am here. Wait a minute. Oh, yeah. The Grayscale, I had to break out the Grayscale shirt again. And I had them up on the site. I might put the link back on there and let you guys check that out. US-based spot XRP exchange-funded tokens have recorded 13 consecutive days of net inflows since their launch on November 14th. The funds attracted 50.27 million in new capital on Wednesday, bringing their total net inflows to 874.28 million. XRP ETFs are among the largest, fastest growing crypto asset vehicles, nearing the 1 billion with a B milestone in under a month, indicating significant acceptance in traditional finance markets. And a lot of people don't understand. People buy ETFs because they don't want to deal with the crypto exchanges or the self-custody wallets or actually owning the crypto. But you can own a piece of the XRP with the ETF. So you're actually buying it. You just don't buy the actual crypto, which is probably safer. Somebody mentioned people are selling Bitcoin to buy into Bitcoin ETFs. So if they're doing the same thing with XRP, but I don't recommend to sell XRP. Just keep holding. These guys are talking crazy numbers for the XRP pump. The funds recorded a total trading volume of 31.5 million for the day. The streak establishes the XRP ETFs among the fastest growing class of major crypto asset vehicles. So they're basically saying of crypto assets, from coins to tokens to exchanges to ecosystems, the XRP ETF is the king, right? It's pretty much the main thing in crypto right now. Approaching the 1 billion milestone is under a month, could be interpreted as a signal significant acceptance and liquidity for the asset within traditional financial markets. The positive momentum displayed by XRP product is a part of continuing active crypto ETFs dynamics. Spot Solana ETFs, despite some recent days of outflows, have pulled in more than 600 million since their recent launch. Also, despite the recent inflows, setbacks, and overwhelming success of the far older spot Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs, marches on with the Bitcoin funds drawing in nearly 58 billion and the Ethereum vehicle 13 billion, according to Farside data. I guess that was the end of the article. As of October 2025, Gold Plus have generated 4.7. What is Gold Plus? What does this have to do with? So I was trying to squeeze these articles in there. Let's go back to Twitter real quick. Let me see. What is this? I know this is the XRP stream, but it's inevitable for Zebek to be a partnership. That 30 billion seems to be a wallet. I've seen a wallet that many, but why delete from circulation? Did XRP ever do that? Not that I know of, Peter, but I think we're going to have a Zebek stream later. We can get into detail on that as well. I want my main man, ZBCN man, to come and explain that as well. So this is banks are coming on chain fast. It's finally happening from the XRP use case to building on Ethereum. Turning my little heater on the desk, getting kind of sneezy in here. Institutions and banks are becoming on chain around the globe. I don't know what this RLS, another shameless plug. Breaking XRP gets first ever CTF regulated spot listed in the US. Binomial has officially launched its first CTF regulated US spot crypto exchange. XRP is listed on one day. This means XRP can now be traded spot, futures, perpetuals, and options under federal US regulation. What? Something no other exchange has offered. What? What is this? Spot, futures, perpetuals, and options. It's a one-stop shop. What's really going on? XRP is now approved as trading collateral. You can literally post XRP and RLUSD as margin in the same way institutions use treasuries or stablecoins. That's a huge legitimacy upgrade. XRP just moved from crypto token to US regulated market infrastructure as the biggest regulated unlock has had in years. Congratulations to Binomial. Am I even saying that right? Shout out to Binomial. I was trying to see if this is the actual, yeah, this is the post. Let's go back to X. Bullish alert, Franklin Templeton just hit a record. XRP spot ETF holding. Global liquidity is sprinting into XRP Ledger and Roscoe's out here like nice pump. Mind if I pump it more? when ETFs or raccoons get involved, markets don't just rise, they yet. Okay. The Fed just injected 13.5 billion with a B in one of the largest single day repo moves since COVID. That's not routine, that's liquidity stress. When the capital starts rerouting, it flows to faster, harder, permissionless rails. This is why XRP's role in institutional liquidity transfers matters. This is one of the bullish catalysts for XRP. 13.5 billion hit the system overnight. But this is not just liquidity as a warning shot. The Fed injecting the most single day repo operations because the markets are starving for liquidity and the cracks are showing. Rate cut signals are flashing. Credit stress is creeping, and the Fed is stepping in not next year, right now. Every time they print, they lose control of where the liquidity flows. This time it's not going to banks or bonds, it's leaking into harder, faster, permissionless rails. Interesting. This is a quick video from Ripple City. Just in, Ledger exhibits strong growth over 40,000 account set transactions and increased AMM activity, signaling a vibrant, expanding network. So this is, let's see what she has to say real quick.
Alexity Quick News Update. XRPL just recorded 40,000 account setups, a strong proxy for active wallet configuration and ecosystem onboarding. AMM pools show rising liquidity rotations, clear signs of a network scaling in both participation and utility. Ripplexity Quick News Update. XRPL just recorded 40,000 account setups.
So I guess that is rapidity or something. I don't know. I had XRP since 50 cents sold for profit. I may get a small future bag if it goes a little lower. 500 XRP for the future bag. Yeah, I got in at 50 cents and it went down to 17 cents and I got a lot of it. And I sold it when it came back up. I wish I would have kept it. I do still have a pretty good XRP bag, but I wish I would have kept the full bag and just waited it out. But we will see. Breaking the UK now legally classifies crypto as property. This allows courts to freeze, recover, insure, and collateralize digital assets like XRP, just like real estate or business assets. They've created a new property category for digital assets. India and the UK are leading the way, syncing global laws ahead of the upcoming liquidity shift. While the world shifts to digital assets, a new meme coin is about to emerge on the XRP ledger. The token address will be dropped soon. And get it first, follow whoever this is. But yeah, that is big. I was talking to someone else, and they had mentioned that with being a what is this? A property class, right? When you get divorced or file for bankruptcy, they can seize your crypto to pay off your bankruptcy debt if you have a KYC wallet, right? If they see that you have crypto listed, they can use your crypto as liquidity and split it among the parties, which is crazy. But crypto's moving fast. This is a quick video. Let's play this quick video and I'll be right back.
Recognizes crypto as property. This didn't really seem like a big deal to me at first, but I dug in and I think you're going to be a little blown away. Think of it like this. This is the foundation of the next financial system being poured while everyone's eyes are fixated on the low crypto prices right now. Before this, man, crypto is in this legal gray zone. So if somebody stole your Bitcoin or your XRP, the courts basically said, well, it's not money, it's not stock, it's not land. So basically, bro, you are screwed. But now it's digital property in the same category as your home, your car, or any other business assets. That means courts can freeze it. That's kind of scary. Recover it, insure it, collateralize it, and protect it just like anything else you own. And they didn't just approve crypto, man. They literally created a third category of property to make room for digital assets. That's basically like governments admitting the financial system cannot contain what's coming physically. That's why institutions like $9 trillion Vanguard are getting dragged into the cryptocurrency game, whether they like it or not. When India does it, now the UK does it. You're watching global laws sync up behind the scenes, perfectly timed before this big liquidity migration starts. Because it's coming. I don't know when it's coming, but it's coming. So don't take your eyes off the ball here, man. You're still early, and think about it. Apple is still bigger than all of crypto. While this news might seem boring, this is a legal prerequisite to everything we've been talking about, because you can't flip on a switch till courts can enforce ownership. This thing is starting to happen.
So shout out to that guy for the update. Is right. It is moving fast. Bullish. The Emirates airline will begin accepting XRP starting next month. And again, don't spend your crypto on airline tickets. I'm just throwing it out there. What if you spent it at $10 a XRP token and then it went to the infamous $10,000? You'd be very upset about that purchase, like the guy who spent it on Bitcoin on pizza. There's lots of arguments about that, but we'll see. Huge giveaway. Comment knowledge. I'll DM you. Access community. Like, share, and subscribe. We'll keep it moving on that one. 600 million in XRP ETF inflows, and most people still think it's a side play. Brad Ginsenhouse just dropped stats that's getting burdened or getting buried. XRP ETFs have already crossed 700 million, and we're still in the first inning. XRP ETFs currently make up just 1 to 2% of the global ETF market. That's not a cap, that's a pressure build. Institutions are shifting from crawl, walk to run, and XRP is clearly in rotation. But here's what's not being said. This isn't just about inflows, it's about which assets institutions trust enough to touch this early. XRP survived lawsuits, regulatory choke points, media smear campaigns, and is still drawing institutional money before the U.S. even gives a green light. The average investor is still focused on meme pumps. Meanwhile, BlackRock and Vanguard are quietly allocating exposure to assets with regulatory clarity, deep liquidity, and real world asset use cases. The inflows are proof. The silence is your advantage. When the institutions go from testing to deploying, what will your allocation look like? Let's see what Brad has to say real quick. But somebody did mention that in one of these postings. These guys are like, we don't like crypto. We don't want crypto to now they're buying up all the crypto. So you can't trust BlackRock and Vanguard. These guys are in it to make money. They don't care what they have to tell you to sell early so they can get it on their ETF and sell you back the tokens that you already bought, right? At a higher price. So they make a profit selling you back the tokens that you just sold. So let's see what Brad has to say. I'll be right back.
What's your take on this too? Do you think the ETF floor was overhyped?
Definitely no. I mean, look, obviously what you were describing is all data correct, but I think you got to zoom out a little bit further and realize that this ETFs didn't exist because of the regulatory problems in the United States. They didn't exist, and in the last 2 or 3 weeks, over $700 million have flown into XRP ETFs, which is just it's pent up demand from institutional investors, from investors who want access because they don't want to custody themselves, what have you. But look, again, if you zoom out to the macro level, the total ETF market, only 1 or 2% of the total ETF market is crypto. I will bet anybody here that a year from now, that will be more than 1 or 2%. There's going to continue to be inflows. And yes, you can take a snapshot of time and say, okay, there's a billion left Bitcoin ETFs or whatever the data you cited a moment ago. But if you zoom out a little bit further and say, okay, over 2026, do we really think crypto ETFs are only going to be 1 or 2% of the total ETF market? No chance. And so that, again, it's one of those macro tailwinds where Ripple sits in a position where we see, particularly from our Ripple Prime, the prime brokerage business, we see a lot of interesting activity where institutions that have been on the sidelines, maybe because of regulatory clarity, maybe because of risk aversion, for whatever reasons they've been on the sidelines, they're getting involved, and they're starting small, and they're going to walk, then they're going to crawl, then they're going to walk, then they're going to run, and I think it's going to create a lot of tailwind.
So this moment in the market hasn't necessarily spooked institutional capital. That's what you're saying?
Definitely not.
Okay.
And he's right. XRP's been hanging around for a minute, bro. A little up and down, didn't do anything. This is one of the bullish catalysts for XRP. 13.5 billion just hit the system. But this is not just liquidity, it is a warming shot. The Fed injecting one of the largest single-day repo operations since COVID. That's something stuck in the tooth. Pundit reveals how five-digit XRP could power Swift, DTCC, raw gold, and CBDCs. Trying to zoom in on here. Reaching full global institutional adoption would range between 10 to 50K. 10K on the lower bound, enough to handle all Swift's RWA. 50K Swift's DTCC, RWA, gold, and CBDCs. AI clearly knows what XRPL was built for. All the money utility is what brings the massive price. Answer: once XRP reaches full global institutional adoption, Swift DTC RWA tokenization, CBDCs, commodities, value transfer on XRPL. Sustained range for XRP would likely need to be 10K to 50K per XRP. Definitely with that 10K per XRP, bro, we are in there like swimwear. XRP's predictions are back again. AI says $4 by March 2026. Some analysts are calling for $6. Funny thing about XRP, though, it sits there doing nothing for months, then suddenly explodes with one big candle. If the settlement rail narrative plays out through the targets, it might not be crazy, but remember, predictions are just predictions. The market wakes up when it wants to, not when you tell it to. XRP price predictions, AI forecast $4.40 by March 2026. Analysts targets up to $6. And these guys said $10 to 50K. So I don't know, but this is a pretty huge range there. The breakout will hit like a flash. Only the ready win. Let's see, run this back
So we
real
at
quick.
BCG, we're super optimistic when it comes to stablecoins. By 2030, we estimated and expect that 2.5 to 3 trillion of US dollar will be in stablecoins.
Stablecoins are having a moment and Ripple's RLUSD is having a moment. We believe those issuers that have the most enterprise-grade focus on regulation, compliance, and transparency will be those that prevail.
So we at BCG, we're super optimistic when it.
So the RLUSD. Breaking. S long-term holders just slipped back to accumulation for the first time since October. The selling pressure is officially over. That means the price is about to start running. Breaking news. White House economic advisor Hazlitt just said the Fed will likely cut interest rates next week. That is a clear bullish signal. Rate cuts means more liquidity. More liquidity has only one destination. In 2025, crypto. Army, get ready for liftoff. I'm trying to see, because I think I have this video somewhere else. We'll play it since we're here. XRP gets first ever CTF regulated spot listing. Let's see what this guy's talking about. David Schwartz.
Realize that you could have an asset exchange, that you didn't want to have an asset exchange if you had a block producer, because the block producer could reorder transactions to their advantage. They could not, if there was some offer that was at a price that turned out to be too high or too low because the asset price moved, the person who produced the block could take that profit for themselves. They might not let you cancel an offer. They might let you place only the best offers for them and then take them, insert their own transaction to take them. So we realized in 2012 that because you could not do that, our technology was uniquely suitable for an asset exchange. And so we took some inspiration from some work that Ryan Fugger did back in 2004. We created issued assets, which were basically the first stable coins. We created the first DEX with what we now call the DEX. And we built a sort of multi-asset ledger. And Arthur mostly realized that you could have an asset exchange, that you didn't want to have an asset exchange if you had a block producer, because the block producer could reorder transactions to their advantage. They could not, if there was some offer that was at a price that turned out to be too high or too low because the asset price moved, the person who produced the block could take that profit for themselves. They might not let you cancel an offer. They might let you place only the best offers for them and then take them, insert their own transaction to take them. So we realized in 2012 that because you could not do that, our technology was uniquely suitable for an asset exchange. And so we took some inspiration from some work that Ryan Fugger did back in 2004. We created issued assets, which were basically the first stable coins. We created the first DEX with what we now call the DEX. And we built a sort of multi-asset ledger. And Arthur mostly realized.
So shout out to David Schwartz. David, this is the Real Tech Vision. Hearing Dave talking about Arthur Bristow hit me. They're not chasing trends, they're building the future of payments. You should see it now. XRP will take over. And this is warning, you're not prepared for what XRP is lining up. Yeah, you guys ain't picking up what I'm throwing down, man. XRP is, wait, what is this nonsense? I would not trust AI speculation with a barge pole. That's weird. 10K to 50K per XRP is ridiculous number and is purely false hope. Please don't have these expectations. That's the same one we just read. It is the same one. I don't know, man. It's hard to trust, not trust, but trust, don't trust AI. Breaking news, the Airlines officially begin to accept XRP as a form of payment. XRP will overtake Ethereum and become the second largest crypto soon. Let's see what Brad's talking about here. I think this is like one of the last videos too. And we can go over to YouTube.
Yeah, so what's affecting the price of XRP has been the SEC. People forget, frankly, before the SEC got involved in the crypto markets, XRP was the second most valuable digital asset, ahead of ETH. And then the SEC got involved and said, hey, we think ETH is probably okay, and ETH went up. And then they sued Ripple, and XRP went down. You know, this is not how our government is supposed to work. We're supposed to have a level playing field and have, you know, equal opportunity. We shouldn't have our government picking winners and losers in this regard. We think in the long run will prevail, and you know that'll sort itself out. But for now, it's frustrating for the community, and I like the way you characterized it, for the XRP family. Do they?
And as you know, the cream of the crop rises to the top. So it definitely sort itself out pretty soon. This is Levi. It's obvious XRP will be bigger than Bitcoin. Let's see what it's talking about here.
Way an XRP comes ahead. It's faster. XRP is going to be bigger than Bitcoin, and it is so freaking obvious. I mean, you can compare Bitcoin to XRP in any single way, and XRP comes ahead. It's faster, it's cheaper, it's more integrated into the financial systems. It is simply just a better product in every single category. If you are buying Bitcoin instead of XRP, you are making the biggest mistake of your life, in my opinion. Make sure you comment knowledge to join my Discord to learn why XRP is going to overtake Bitcoin in the next 10 years. XRP is
Interesting theory there, but we'll see. This is Binance contacted Keith for stopping Casper fans from calling to close their Binance accounts. We'll check that out. CZ advertising Leonardo Astor. There is no better mentor in the crypto space. Infinity hire for Astra. And CG also helped Trump launch his token. So if he's working with Astor, there's definitely going to be some price action coming to Astor pretty soon. So that's the last one. I wanted to play this. This is the infamous Austin. Let's see what Austin has to say real quick.
Hey, that's not the lead story. Here's what I want to share with you. I put this tweet out yesterday. Just when they finished dumping the crypto market, Charles Schwab, Vanguard, Bank of America, and you can insert any other major institution here as well. I think Fidelity, BlackRock, JP Morgan, all magically launched crypto trading for their clients in the same week. Vanguard makes the major announcement that they are opening up to their 50 million plus customers crypto. That their people can, their customers can buy crypto ETFs, things of this nature, Bitcoin, XRP, you name it. Bank of America comes out, makes the official announcement, okay, that their 15,000 advisors at Bank of America are now been charged with going to their clients, millions and millions of clients representing trillions and trillions of dollars, just to tell them to put 4% of their overall net worth into crypto. These are companies that have done everything they can historically in the past publicly to disparage, discourage, to kill, to squash crypto and crypto investing to their clients. Why are they all of a sudden changing their tune? One word: profit. Two word: fees. They want to sell it to you. They have been hiding their true meaning and their true intention from you, their clients, for years. You know why? They couldn't make money off of it yet. The regulatory framework that existed in the last 2-3+ years was very anti-crypto, and the banks and the financial institutions were never going to go anywhere near crypto because they were scared of regulators, auditors, all that kind of stuff. But that's changed. And what were they doing? They were eyeing the market going, we need to hide our true intention. We need to hide the fact that we believe crypto is, as I have said, the last financial frontier and one of the biggest opportunities out there, period. Okay. They hid that for years. They lied about it. They did. Let's call it what it is. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Why'd they do that? They couldn't sell it to you yet. They couldn't make money off of you yet. So they tried to run you out of crypto, disparage it. And then all of a sudden, when the tide turns and when the regulatory landscape gets different and they see the massive opportunities coming in with all the money that flows into these ETFs, the XRP ETFs have been wildly successful. Bitcoin with BlackRock, wildly successful, all that kind of stuff. Bottom line, they have been hiding their true intentions from you and I and lying about it for years. So what does that mean to you as an XRP investor? It means you know about it. It means you are aware of it and you understand the behavior. Because here's what they want to happen. They want to run you out of crypto, right? Surprise. Because they want to sell it to you later. They want you to buy it from them. And there are millions and millions of people out there that are happy to do that. And I am.
Yeah, so like I was mentioning earlier, that's the plan, right? They want to get it now while it's cheap, wait for the price to go back up and sell you back the crypto that you sold to them at $2 and sell it back to you at $10 or 15, 20, 30, maybe $1,000 a token. So they're gonna make, what is that? 6,000, 7,000% off your crypto. So make sure, like my main man, the drifter, saying, diamond hands, right? Somebody told me that too in another of the live streams. Once you get it, you got it, right? Don't sell your crypto. Just put it on your custody, self-custody wallet and hold on, right? What's it? HLLD, hold on for dear life. Because things are going to start happening fast. People are going to panic. You're going to sell it. You're going to be like, oh man. And you're going to buy it back at a much higher price than you sold it for. And that's not how you make money. You make money buying it low and selling it high, not selling it high. Wait, not selling it low and buying it back high from the same people you sold it to. Let's get back to the video.
Not disparaging that. I am not saying that that should not happen. I'm simply saying understand and recognize the behavior and understand all of these major Wall Street institutions and what their real agenda is. Their real agenda is profit, and that's okay. We live in a capitalist society. I am not saying there's anything wrong with that, but that doesn't mean you have to get caught up in it. And that doesn't mean that they have to take advantage of you. And not that they're taking advantage of their clients, but the messaging to me was, I don't even know the best word. The messaging was, was meant to keep people out of crypto until they could sell it and make money. So where does that leave us? It leaves us in a situation where you have to make a decision. Do you want to own your own keys? Do you want to be a custodian and pay less fees overall and own your own crypto, own your own XRP? Yes or no? Some people don't want to jack with that. I personally know of people who have owned Bitcoin who sold their Bitcoin and sold it and basically swapped it into the Bitcoin ETF. Okay, that's fine. I am not saying that that's bad or good. That's what works for them. But just be aware of it. Go into that situation eyes wide open is all I'm saying. And don't let the negative messaging, which we're going to continue to see because the institutions have not officially embraced it. Yes, I know Vanguard, Bank of America, Fidelity, all of them, they're coming and they're basically kind of here, but they're not totally here yet. Just see the behavior for what it is. They're hiding all this from you. Just be aware. And you have to make the choice of staying or going. Don't let your emotions and don't let the fear that is still going to continue to plague crypto until we're about a little bit further in, until everybody magically looks up and goes, this crypto thing is amazing. It's the best thing on the planet. Here you go, Mr. and Mrs. Main Street, United States, Main Street World, Global. It's now okay to buy it, which you and I both know is BS. It's been okay to buy it since crypto was invented. Just understand the behavior and I understand what is going on. Bottom line, we need Wall Street. We need the millions and millions and millions of investors that are behind those doors, representing trillions of dollars of liquidity that is going to flow into crypto. We need them.
Hold the mic like a grudge. Rakim, I like that. XRP all the way. Definitely hold, bro. What up, Phantom Beats and the Drifter? Yeah, that's what they're trying to get you to do. Sell cheap so they can buy it up and sell it back to you, man. You can't trust these guys. These guys got rich on doing the same thing, buying it cheap and selling it back to you at a higher price. They profit, and you think you're doing something like he said. People talking about it's safe now. Crypto's cool. It's cool the whole time. These guys are just selling you bud so you don't buy it, so they can buy it cheap. And I think that's why the price is going down now, and why we didn't have a bull run this season, right? Why we never had a bull market, right? They're conspiring to keep the price down so they can buy it up. Again, it's not financial advice. This is just for entertainment purposes. Let me see. What is this? It will pay to hold, keep the emotions out of it. Dollar cost average. Definitely the drifter. Legal criminals. Yes, that's what I'm trying to get to. Get to the point where you can make your own moves and do what you want to versus having to deal with them and getting messed over by the big boys like Vanguard and the BlackRock.
Right? We do, because that will make our investment bigger over time. And XRP is poised with the XRP ETFs, with institutional adoption, the success of the XRP ETFs already that we've seen. It's poised to become an institutional asset, just like Bitcoin. You watch, it will happen because the pent up demand for those XRP ETFs. And yes, I understand. I understand how ETFs work. I get it. It still is going to directly impact XRP. It's going to, as it has directly impacted Bitcoin and all that. I mean, again, we need this. But just be aware of the behavior. Just understand how the game is played is all I'm really trying to say, right? Okay. Hey, last thought.
So shout out to Austin, and I do believe what he's saying. People don't like what he says, but he's keeping it real. These guys are definitely not out to help you, right? They're trying to make money themselves. So this is, let's go to multimedia real quick, and then we can circle back to Moneymaker. And the last video will be Digital Outlook. Let's see what multimedia has to say. Drifter, it's going down so their customers can get it cheap via ETFs, right? And they're probably telling their customers, wait, right? Don't buy it yet. Wait for it to go down. We're going to send out some perspectives. We're going to send you some document with the secret code in it. And the secret code is going to tell you when to buy and what to buy, right? The secret what is that? The secret decoder message. We'll give you the, what is that, little orphan Annie secret decoder. And then they all buy and get crazy rich. But if we hold, we'll be ahead of them in the secret decoder messages. So let's get back to multimedia.
Having a great day out there. We saw something just now happen on the XRPL that hasn't happened since 2020. Now, the beauty of this is it's not based off speculation, it's actual usage. And the last time we saw this happen, we saw XRP rise from 20 cents to $1.90. I want to talk to you about what's going on with the circulation velocity right now on the XRP. And I've got a message here at the end I want to put out to all XRP holders. Do you like talking about Ripple and XRP? Type in X in the comment section, smash that like button, and let's get into it real quickly. I just want to say thank you to all of those that have been putting kind comments in the comment section. I try to read through all of them, but I do see some of these kind comments, and I'm humbled. I'm just some guy on the internet trying to keep you updated on what's going on in this ecosystem. I essentially work for you, right? And so I try to keep things up to date and quick and short, as you can probably tell, especially if you're newer to this channel. You can probably tell most of my videos are going to range anywhere from 6 minutes to 10 minutes. And I try to put a lot of content condensed down into a short video. Sometimes these videos actually take 2 to 3 hours to put together a 6 to 10 minute video. And so I just want to say I am very appreciative and humbled by those kind comments. That's what makes me want to do this more. And so without being a gatekeeper here, I want to get straight into this because this is very interesting. XRP circulation velocity just hit 0.0324, which is the highest level it's hit in 2025. Now, what does that mean? This is what we're going to talk about. Real usage, not just speculation. Bank XRP does a really good job at putting some of this information out time to time. Give that profile a follow. It's at Bank XRP. What this is, guys, is whales and institutions that are moving big volume. Now, this is happening right now. We're seeing a lot of accumulation from whales, and I just spoke with my mom yesterday. I just recently got her into crypto, and she's been watching the channels and asking, what do you mean when we talk about whale? Well, these are large bag holders. And when I say bag, holding large sums of XRP. And we're not talking about small retail, thousands of coins. We're talking about millions and billions worth in their holdings that can push XRP around. And that's what we see. And unfortunately, whales do manipulate prices as well. And that is just something that we deal with in this market. But they can manipulate it on the downside and hold the price down. They also manipulate it on the upside. And right now, what we are seeing is whales and institutions moving big volume. And last time we saw velocity spike this hard was in 2020, and we saw the price of XRP actually pump from 20 cents all the way to $1.90. Now, a couple other things I want to put out in this video, in this quick video, in terms of messages. I saw X put out last night. In 1 week, we have seen Vanguard and BlackRock admit their past lies. Remember that both were anti-crypto and now admit they were wrong. I always say they will never tell you the truth. If you want to seize the opportunity of a lifetime, which XRP is, you have to learn to read between the lines, because the day they announce it and say they were wrong about XRP, the opportunity of a lifetime will disappear.
And this is also one we're talking about earlier. And we seen Vanguard and BlackRock admit to their past lies. Remember, they both were anti-crypto. So was JP Morgan Chase and Bank of America. My clients do not want anything to do with crypto. My clients was that Jamie Dimon. My clients are not interested in buying crypto. A year later, oh, my clients actually do want crypto. We have lots of portfolio value added to our system for customers asking about crypto. So yeah, they're gonna flip the script on you quick as soon as they see it's money involved, and they've already crossed that threshold. I always say they will never tell you the truth. If you want to seize the opportunity of a lifetime, you have to learn to read between the lines, because the day they announce it, say they were wrong about XRP, the opportunity will disappear. And like you said, Drifter, these guys already had it, right? As soon as they say they're wrong, they've already bought it up, and they're saying it because they're going to try to sell it right back to you. Let's finish this video real quick.
And this is one thing that I talk to even family and friends, people that I have close relationships with, um, outside of YouTube, of course. I mean, I consider this community like family at this point. We do videos every single day, have been for years, and I see some of the same people commenting and we engage and so forth. This community is like a family to me. But outside my actual family that I talk to about XRP, I talked to them about the sense that, in the sense that once you start seeing it on CNBC, you start seeing it on some of these big mainstream media outlets talking about how they were wrong about XRP specifically, and you start to see Bank of America, which we've known for years has been a very close partner of Ripple. You start to see these headlines, it's too late. The game is over, the opportunity's over. You couple that with what's going on with the Clarity Act about to pass soon. I don't believe it's going to happen this year, definitely in Q1, but it's looking not likely this year. But just everything collectively, when this starts hitting mainstream, the opportunity is gone. And so, folks that are newer to this ecosystem, I say, not financial advice, but accumulate as much as you can before those fireworks go off. Because last night I put out a post where I said, surreal to think of where we were at just a few years ago to where what we're looking at right now. XRP now has institutional adoption more than ever, with Vanguard joining the party just this week. It is safe to say that XRP is going mainstream. And that's just the case. If you take a look back, just back in 2022, we didn't, a lot of people didn't. I always believed in crypto and that long term, obviously blockchain tech will touch every single sector and crypto would be fine. But a lot of people out there believe that when we saw the FTX collapse and what happened with Luna and all these other situations out there, that crypto was going to be done. It would be over for crypto. And that is not what happened. We continued to rise. And now, as we take a look at institutional adoption happening more than ever, we're in a pretty good place. We're in a pretty good place. And as I put this out, someone below said, I'm late to the game, Molt, but nonetheless, this is truly amazing. And I told him, you are not late. You're actually right on time. No one here that is watching this right.
Yeah, guys, you still have time, right? The party is not over. The train has not left the station. You still have time. Not financial advice, just entertainment purposes. SK 1909. Yes, Zebek is a good buy. It's not financial advice, but Zebek's one of my largest crypto hold or parts, pieces, tokens, projects. I'm holding as well. And this is Lionel Gray. Can you please do a video on capital gains? Lionel, you mean capital gains taxes, or do you mean capital gains from crypto? Because I might need to do that before the end of the year. But quick summary there: capital gains is not realized until you sell the crypto. So if XRP goes from $2 to $20,000 tomorrow, if you didn't sell it, you don't create the gain. So your capital gain is not created until you actually sell that token or crypto or whatever you're holding. So it's not considered capital gains until it is sold. What is this? Price is exploding now. What price? Taxes from selling your crypto. Okay. Yeah, no problem. And like I was saying, it ain't there. It ain't capital gains until dang it, it's not capital gains until you actually sell the crypto. And I'm not a financial advisor, so I can't really give you financial advice. I can tell you, but I can't really uh, professionally advise you. But just keep in mind, like I said previously, it ain't capital gains until you actually just sell it. There's a lot of discrepancy and back and forth, but yeah, you got to sell it to be considered capital. And some of the
List claims came in at
what was called accountants will have you inventory your crypto, right? There's a special form they use that they can track what cryptos you have. So if it does become profitable and you sell it, right? You already showed them you had it when it was $2 and it went up to 10,000. They know what you had. So when you report your sale, it's all calculated or legitimate. So make sure you get with a financial advisor or an accountant or someone that does what is this law for assets or asset lawyer or something. Yeah, I was thinking about opening a crypto exchange, but I needed a commodities lawyer. Yeah, make sure you talk with a commodities lawyer or an accountant or something. But let's get to this next video from money making Avi Lee.
191,000. The expectation was 220,000. Yesterday, ADP private payrolls data fell minus 32,000, which was the largest drop since March of 2023. So despite initial jobless claims data coming lower than expected, the overall labor market is still very weak. This means the Fed will have to do more rate cuts, which is a good thing for the markets. Okay, it seems like the probability for rate cuts is around 84.3% here as we are a week out, exactly a week out for the Fed decision. No, Wednesday, right? It's the Fed decision. And so right now it's 84%. It seems that, on the data that we got here today, there's no reason for him not to reduce interest rates. And of course, that is a bullish thing for the market. But market selling off, kind of weird day. Crypto market selling off today. When you look at it and you look, long term, not just the short term, we have the biggest technological boom since the internet, ongoing Fed interest rate cuts into AI boom, Trump's heading new Fed chair announcement, 700 billion in annual technology capex, the end of quantitative tightening, widespread deregulation initiatives by the SEC for the crypto market, especially the most market conscious US president ever, a pro crypto president, 2 trillion in annual deficit spending. Okay, 13% year-over-year earning growth in the S&P 500 and the return of global fiscal stimulus. We're already seeing that happening in Japan. Where is the bear case right now? When you look at the market long term, not today, tomorrow, the next day, I am still very, very bullish on these markets. Again, this is just my opinion. I had to pause for a second. My son just came in, he bonked his head. It's a technical difficulty time. What I was saying was basically, this is my opinion. This is what I see on the market. Of course, this video is for educational purposes only, for entertainment purposes only, not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence before you decide to invest. Very, very important. We just got this great news also. You can now trade listed spot crypto on CFTC exchanges. We're working smarter and faster to protect Americans who deserve safe U.S. markets, not offshore exchanges. So now Americans have the opportunity, and this is with Bitnomial, that actually Ripple are invested there, if I remember correctly. So you can say Bitnomial launches the first CFTC regular spot crypto exchange in the US. Leverage spot, perpetuals, future options are all on one federally regulated platform. So if just 2 or 3 years ago, you wouldn't have the opportunity in the US to go through the CFTC, now you have the possibility to do so. And this is, another thing, another one, right? Like DJ Khaled says about the crypto market, another bullish thing here that is happening for the crypto market. And every single day we get more great news. We'll get to the price action in just a second. I know it's not great today, but we're getting a lot of great news. Treasury Secretary Besson says 2026 is going to be a great year for the US economy. We'll see if that will affect crypto and will affect the stock market as well. We're also seeing that Binance estimated leverage ratio is now at a 30-day low. High risk leverage has been cleared out, reducing the odds of major liquidation spikes and boosting overall market stability. Could be, could be. Although, if you go and you look at XRP right now, it is down 4.4% and it's continuing to drop, right? Bitcoin is down 1.5%. If we look at the general crypto market, there is red today. So our assets down 2-3%. I don't want to say pat myself on the back here or say I told you so or something like that. But if you if you have been watching the videos over the past few days, we talked about the possibility of the market continuing this fluctuation up and down, especially until the Fed decision next Wednesday. And going back and looking to the last time we closed the gap, right? That happened back in February, March. Remember, it looked like, oh, we're coming back up, and then we pulled back, and then we came back up again, and we pulled back again. So, I'm not surprised that the volatility continues. Right? We went up, we pulled back. We went up. Theoretically, we could pull back again before maybe getting third time as a charm. And here 1, 2, and then third time was 1, 2. Actually, there was 3 times, and then there was a charm. Here there was 1, 2, and then it ran up a little bit. But it will be very interesting to see what happens here because again, there's no bad news coming out for XRP. There's no, if there was bad news, you would see Sol and you see Ethereum and you'd see everybody selling off, but it's only there's some assets. Bread is down, 4 or 5%. There are some assets here that Vert, some assets that are down 4 or 5%. But for the most part, the market is doing good, not good, but okay, not terrible. So it's kind of interesting that XRP is down that 4%. HBAR is down 4% as well. So maybe you could parallel that. And we're XLM 2.5. Where's not XLM? I'm missing the other one. Another one, Algorand, 2.7. So they're about the same. HBAR and XRP down here, about similar levels today. Again, this is short term. We might turn around tomorrow and we're up. We could drop down back to the $2 level. I would not be surprised at that at all, right? There's going to be opportunities in this market. Again, if you're day trading or you're swing trading, there's that possibility that you can catch these movements up and down, but you have to be very careful. Okay, if you're interested and you want to support the channel in that way, if you're already trading, our partner BYDFI will give the opportunity to go long, to go short. I still have those 2 positions that I opened up a while back. And the Bitcoin one is okay. The XRP one is up a little bit. It's pulled back in the past day or so with that 4% pullback. But still, I have those positions open. If you are interested, we still are giving out this big amount here. And so that's for people that are in the sign up already and are trading. You also get special bonuses and you get special access to the Telegram group, the special whale Telegram group, where you get to chat with me. If you use my link, it is an affiliate link. So thank you for that. And again, it helps support the channel. It helps us keep the lights on. Big day here for Ripple. G Treasury, which was already announced a while back, is finally officially part of Ripple alongside Rail, Palisade, and Ripple Prime, which was Hidden Road already in the fold. We just completed the 4 major acquisitions that turn Ripple into the first true one-stop shop for institutional digital asset infrastructure. This isn't just about adding products to Ripple. It's about removing friction, reducing counterparty risk, adding bank-grade security as infrastructure, and finally giving treasurers, CFOs, and financial institutions the tool they've been asking for to scale with digital assets. So this is not, what Ripple is doing. Again, it's not for me and you, right? It's for institutional clients, for banks, for institutional clients. And so it'll be very interesting to see, a year from now, what is the action that Ripple is actually seeing? how much traffic is actually going on XRPL. That will be very, very interesting. Just, here for dessert, uh, BlackRock Larry Fink says sovereign wealth funds are buying Bitcoin. I know they bought more in the 80s, he says here. And Eric says, pretty sure he's referencing Abu Dhabi here. They are the only sovereign wealth fund that is reported to own IBAT. Maybe there are smaller ones that don't report, but they are massive. Third largest in the world. Bought $500 million a year ago. Cost basis 49. IBAT currently 52. So it's up a bit even with the decline. So that's interesting. Again, if we see more sovereign wealth funds buying into crypto, more countries buying into crypto. Of course, we talked about all the companies and with the decline kind of crypto over the past few months, I've seen some things. I'm seeing less emails, right? So I'm seeing less emails from companies. That makes sense. When the market is kind of slower, you see less emails from companies that want to promote stuff. I've also haven't seen really a company that is, adding XRP or adding Bitcoin or adding to their balance sheet, right? Which we were seeing that a lot when Bitcoin, of course, and XRP were going up. But now that it's quieted down a little bit, you're not seeing that. That was one of the things I was most interested about. Would we see these companies that were adding crypto to their balance sheet? Would they very fast release the crypto when the market starts pulling back? Because again, companies, they have shareholders, sometimes they have investors, and they can show a big loss on their books. So that will be interesting to see as we see the quarterly updates. Will we see any companies coming out and saying, "Hey, we decided to part ways with our crypto position"? Strategy, of course, keeps buying. Tom Lee's Bitmine, I think, are continuing to purchase as well, but I think
kind of went off the rail there with XRP, kind of went general, but it's cool, good information from Levy or Ali Leave, whatever his guy's name is. But let me know in the comments what you guys think for your price prediction for XRP. And this is my main man, Digital Outlook. He has a lot of good information too. Let's see what he is up to now. XRP, the system. The system just broke POW. Let's see what he has to say real quick. And let me know in the comments what do you guys think. Is this a good time for the XRP live stream? And since the market's down, not really a lot of information going, not really a lot of interest, right? When it's red days, you don't get a lot of reactions. But if it pumps a little bit, people get crazy. But definitely want to get an XRP video back on the stream cycles. Been pretty busy, but we are starting to open up for the holidays. So let's see what Digital Outlook had to say.
It's my first cup, and I am so glad to be able to come out here and share it with you this morning. Don't you like just my roasty fire? It is really amazing. Guys, it is just really cold out there. And so that's why I'm doing it out here in front of the fireplace, so it kind of a nice ambiance for us to have our coffee chat. Now, something that is going on today, just to share this with you, we are getting a ton of major players out there sharing some very bullish news. In fact, Brad Garlinghouse, he has made a tremendous statement about what he thinks is coming for 2026 in this ecosystem. And guys, you have got to hear this. It is truly amazing. Just check this clip out right here.
Look, I think crypto has gone through cycles. And when you have risk on, people are excited. They are, now you have kind of a risk off moment. There's uncertainty. I personally will echo some of the things Richard said. There are so many macro factors that are continuing to provide tailwinds for this industry that I think as we go into 2026, I don't remember being this optimistic in the last handful of years, where you do have, as Richard said, regulatory clarity in the largest economy in the world. And I think people underprice this. 22% of global GDP is the United States. And this is a market that has been really openly hostile to crypto for 4 or 5 years, or maybe longer. And now you have that has changed significantly pretty quickly, but the institutions are still catching up with that to some degree. You saw Franklin Templeton on stage here, you saw BlackRock on stage. Just this week, I think Vanguard has now opened up. Vanguard historically has said, we won't touch crypto. And now they've had a massive sea change. That's just one of many things that are creating those tailwinds. And so I'm super optimistic about the year ahead. The last thing I'll say on this, which I think we'll also probably all agree about on this, is we are also seeing real world applications where it's not just about the speculation. You're finding easier to use interfaces so that crypto isn't just about the speculation. It's about solving real world problems. And to sustain that long-term optimism, that long-term bull market, I think you're going to see more and more of
Now,
that.
guys, did you hear that? I'm telling you, when you think of these players now, Brad Garlinghouse, come on, the guy is in the room of a lot of different offices. He's hearing a lot of stuff, of course, even in there with the president and on and on. And their sentiment about what they see coming and the application is going to be wild. Now, this month of December, it is gearing up to be something absolutely massive for this space. Of course, what we've got going on January 10th is a very, very probable drop in the interest rates here in the United States. Now, that of course puts liquidity into the market, but something else is going on, guys, that could really have some amazing impacts in this space. And of course, I think a lot of you have heard about this, but on January the 19th, Japan is considering raising, get this, raising its rates. Now, the thing is, Japan has practically had a zero interest rate for the last 30 some years. And what that has provided the global economy is truly astounding, because a lot of, major businesses would go in there, they would borrow, they would buy the yen, borrow against it because the rates were so low. And of course, they would take that money, convert it into US dollars, and make investments in things around the world and get a tremendous yield at almost practically zero interest rates, right? And of course, that type of carry trade is what they call that, of course, has been going on and has been bolstering a lot of the Western economies for a number of years. Well, what's going on now is if Japan starts raising those rates, what happens is it's the complete reverse of that. And this is where you get that term reverse carry trade. Well, the reverse carry trade is, hey, all these folks that went out there and borrowed that cheap money to employ it and in all these various marketplaces around the world, while they start liquidating positions to go cover that and repay that. And this is where you watch markets truly unwind. Now, why would this in any way be bullish for XRP? Well, because in that environment, guys, liquidity matters. Now, if we should see that in December, my guess is that all the markets initially bang, and especially the crypto market. And the reason for it is because crypto is so very liquid. I mean, they can literally sell their Bitcoin, this, that, and whatever very, very quickly. And that's where we see these big time drops. And in those events, as far as I'm concerned, those dips are for buying and not for crying, because the utility is going to outweigh the volatility. Get that. The utility of the asset, the protocol, is going to eventually outweigh the volatility of the market. Big time deal. And maybe that's going to be our utility outweighing volatility. But needless to say, the fact is, when that happens, XRP could literally shine, because you see, guys, it was absolutely created to handle all of that, cross-border remittances in 3 to 5 seconds, because in those events, liquidity, speed, assuring that the settlement of it is going to be secure, all that's going to matter big time. And XRP supplies it. Now, the thing to really think about is what you've got over in Japan is probably one of the greatest levels of adoption for XRP that exists in the wide world, with SBI, one of the biggest banks over there, and a lot of other banks. They are so familiar with the XRP ledger, done hundreds of tests on it, and of course with XRP, that very well could drive the price of XRP to limits that people don't even realize because of the demand. See all these markets, supply and demand, to solve a global liquidity crisis. Now, initially, I think we'll see some great buying opportunities should that happen. But then you're going to watch, and it could happen overnight, guys. It could happen just that fast. And that's why I think a lot of people have underestimated what the power of XRP could do, because they're looking at it in this little isolated bubble. They're not really seeing it from a global market capacity and the problem that is out there and genuinely trying to solve. And I think this is why you hear Brad Garlinghouse and different folks, getting into this space. Do you think Vanguard just all of a sudden changed their tune just, for some? No, guys, they're looking down the road at what's coming and what could potentially happen. And of course, you got major players, BlackRock, attending Ripple Swell, and on and on. That would have never, and I mean never, have happened in the prior administration, and certainly something that we would have longed for many, many years ago. Well, here it is. And what blows my ever loving mind is that while you've got all this bullish sentiment going on with the industry and things like that, retail is literally capitulating in absolute terror. And that tells you everything, guys, you need to know. If you're ever going to learn how these markets work, you have got to learn the psychology of the market. That's for sure. It is changing, and it is changing so rapidly. And, this is a major deal. And that's how we're going to transition into this new digital economy. I absolutely believe it, guys. And so many amazing things happen. This right here, absolutely phenomenal, guys. Don't miss it. It is going to be powerful. And I'll tell you what, we've got another amazing video planned for you later on today. But guys, keep your chin up. Actually get out there, focus, and get strategic in what you're doing, because what's about to happen next is going to literally change the way the wide world even works right there. So guys, I'll tell you what, until later on when we have another fantastic video for you, have a fabulous one and take.
So shout out to Digital Outlook. And he's right. Things are going to start moving faster than you can keep up with. This is Jake Cleaver, and saying, well, XRP will blow past $10.
There or anything else. There's a lot of people who have thought $10, $13 for a long time. They're not looking at a log chart for XRP. They're looking at a linear chart. Digital assets move in a logarithmic pattern. And if you lay the log chart over XRP, it's going to thousands. And that's why, again, there's just a lot of confluence there that leads me to believe that it's probably closer to $50 in a short-term move versus 10, 13. Think that there's going to be a pit stop there or anything else. There's a lot of people who have thought $10, $13 for a long time. They're not looking at a log chart for XRP. They're looking at a linear chart. Digital assets move in a logarithmic pattern. And if you lay the log chart over XRP, it's going to thousands. And that's why, again, there's just a lot of confluence there that leads me to believe that it's probably closer to $50 in a short-term move versus 10, 13. I think that there's going to be
definitely going with the 10 what is that, the $50 or the 10 to 13. I definitely would want to see more than less, and the thousands is even better. So shout out to Jake Cleaver. This is in cash. Let's see what he has to say. And this will be the last video. Who is this? Nor USA. Wait, Nor US or Dose? What? I don't even know what this is. Buy XRP, watch oil, don't miss out. Possibly. And I can't even see what that is. 44887JS. I'd have to wait till it comes up on the computer screen. But I don't even know. Bro, can't even see these memes. Where is it? Oh yeah, here it is. I'm tripping. I got a little second delay here. So that is a duck and a horse, I guess. I don't know. But let's play this last video, then we'll shut it down for the day.
Money
Let's see what
is
he has
just
to say.
out there in the world.
when you start talking about tens or hundreds of trillions of dollars or even quadrillions, people immediately say, absolutely no way. There's not even that much money in the world. Derivatives have always been the focus because it's the largest value market in the world. It's a valuation that a lot of people actually don't have a full-on accurate view of as well. Like even organizations and large initiatives, it's so hard to track the value tied back to derivatives because it's a very antiquated system. It's hard to track it all. And when it comes back to this, we think about tokenization, we think about on-chain, right? Bringing that value on-chain. But the values that have been tossed around over the years is like 590 trillion, 600 plus trillion, 700 trillion. And some platforms are saying $1+ quadrillion. Recently, we have from Eleanor Tourette, Scoop, Bitnomial to launch first CFTC regulated spot crypto trading. Now, Bitnomial is a derivatives exchange. Now they are preparing to offer spot crypto, which is insane. Plus, market structure talks are coming down the wire, and what we are watching this week. Now, this is of course from Eleanor Tourette. But if we go over to this announcement back in September, we got from the CFTC, they launched an initiative for using tokenized collateral, including stablecoins, in derivatives markets, seeking public feedback by October 20th. Again, clear sign that we are witnessing the evolution of these markets, the largest markets, mind you. Now, like I said, how big is the derivatives market? Well, from Investopedia back on October 17th, the derivatives market is, in a word, gigantic, often estimated at over $1 quadrillion on the high end. Even on the low end, it's roughly about like 600 trillion. It's wild to see these valuations tossed around. But again, when we think about what's happening here, okay, I want you guys to understand that every single market is moving on chain, including derivatives. But these markets are plagued by inefficiencies, which is why we're starting to see them move on chain. Now, what's interesting about Bitnomial is that we also have over here on October 15th of 2024, Bitnomial is announcing the upcoming launch of perpetual futures on our CFTC regulated Bitnomial exchange. This goes back to October of 2024. As part of that, we will be launching Botanical, a platform for all investors to trade perpetual futures, traditional futures, and options. This is backed by a 25 million Series C led by Ripple. Crypto exchanges are not safe. It does not matter the size of the exchange either. Bybit, the fourth largest crypto exchange by trading volume, recorded one of the largest crypto hacks in history back in February, where $1.4 billion was stolen. And if we're looking at some of the top 10 crypto hacks in history, most of these are resulting from major exchanges. So where do we store our crypto outside of cold storage devices? Well, iTrust Capital offers premium custody accounts, which is one of the safest places to store your crypto because these are fully closed loop systems, which are designed to isolate and protect assets. And the best part about this is that if you are holding digital assets on their platform, they can only be withdrawn in USD linked to a US bank account, which means no external wallet connections can happen, which reduces the exposure to phishing or unauthorized transfers. So if you guys do want to tap into one of the safest places to lock up your crypto, you could sign up utilizing my link down in the description below right now, where you deposit $1,000 and you get a free $100 funding bonus today. We are excited to announce our $25 million funding round led by Ripple. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse will join our board as we bring perps and crypto derivatives to US markets for the first time ever. Yeah, this is very interesting, especially at a time where we're seeing them now launch the first CFTC regulated spot crypto trading. And it's also at the same exact time that the CFTC just launched
on initiatives for using tokenized collateral, including stablecoins in derivatives markets. Especially considering the fact that Ripple launched ROUSD as well. Perfect timeline here, perfect setup. Now, on top of that, we also have over here from Chad Steingraber. Bitnomial became the first crypto native exchange to be granted a full set of CFTC derivatives licenses back on December 13th, 2023. This allows Bitnomial to offer crypto-based exchange-traded products under the CFTC rule set. And yes, we have here that this clearinghouse license completes Bitnomial's set of licenses, a rare achievement that already includes an exchange license and a brokerage license, allowing Bitnomial to cater to the unique needs of digital asset traders, brokers, and dealers across the entire derivatives industry, all under the federal oversight of the U.S. Commodity Futures Trading Commission. I also wonder if at some point in time, Bitnomial will be acquired by Ripple. I mean, it's the perfect setup, essentially. Now, we also have the announcement from November 3rd, which was Bitnomial launched its first ever stablecoin margin collateral with ROUSD, expands digital asset support to XRP as well. We have here that this expansion builds on Bitnomial's groundbreaking launch of crypto margin deposits in September of 2025. And Bitnomial is the only U.S. regulated digital or regulated derivatives market infrastructure accepting stablecoins and a broad range of digital assets as margin collateral. This is very, very interesting. These connections, everything that's aligning here is very interesting to watch. And we also know that ROUSD brings stablecoin efficiency to our margin system, allowing traders to hold USD equivalent positions on chain while accessing our full suite of derivatives products. Combined with XRP support, this gives our clients unprecedented flexibility in how they manage capital across their trading strategies. Very interesting. This is a natural extension of our partnership with Ripple and our commitment to building the most capital efficient derivatives infrastructure in the US market. This is all based around derivatives, the largest market in the world by value. This is very exciting. Now, on top of that, we do know that Bitstamp, this goes all the way back to 2024. Bitstamp said that they were building a derivatives exchange on the XRP ledger and they were being acquired by Robinhood this year. Now, we have those images here. Robinhood to acquire Bitstamp, which, by the way, this basically went through. If you go and look at Bitstamp, it's Bitstamp by Robinhood now. And by the way, their top holding here, their number one asset by value, XRP, over $281 plus million here. And then we also have a few other ones here as well. Now, Bitcoin is the largest token allocation on their platform, with 1.71 billion, but the first one here is XRP. But there's multiple wallets that they do control, and we do still see like 1.71 billion Bitcoin, almost it's like 912 million XRP. They actually have more XRP than Ethereum and all other altcoins and assets on their platform. So this also goes to show you just how bullish Bitstamp is on XRP. And now with Robinhood acquiring them, you kind of see a big picture here forming. And here we also have Ripple's XRP ledger set to boost Bitstamp's new derivatives exchange. This goes all the way back to 2024. Now, recently, on November 10th, we heard from Robinhood's CEO, Vlad Tenev, where he said tokenization will unlock 24/7 markets, and once people experience it, they'll never go back. Let's go over here real quick. Digital Perspectives put out a full post regarding how Robinhood has partnered up with Citadel for payments for order flow. Ripple recently partnered up with Citadel to raise $500 million for a $40 billion valuation. Robinhood bought Bitstamp building tokenized stocks and derivatives on the XRP ledger. Together, billions and eventually trillions will run on and be settled on the XRP ledger. Any questions? And yeah, I agree with this. I mean, listen, all of these connections are extremely significant to focus on and also tie back to the XRP ledger. I mean, it's crazy to see all of this happening in real time, but it's also at the same exact time that all of these players are now starting to look into tokenization. Robinhood is extremely bullish on tokenization. We also know that the CFTC enabling stablecoin initiatives around derivatives also shows us how bullish the CFTC is and regulators are on with markets moving on chain. Now, again, another clear connection back to one of the largest markets in the world, aka derivatives, Ripple Prime. We know Ripple Prime is based around key markets. If we open this up real quick and we just look at the first initial post here, right? The first part of this. We have here that the services include clearing, prime brokerage, and financing across the foreign exchange market, $7.5 trillion per day, digital assets, derivatives, swaps, and fixed income. That's right. All based around derivatives, FX, two of the largest markets in the world. We now know that certain derivatives customers have already opted to hold their balances in RLUSD, which is expected to grow substantially in the coming months. We are watching as these markets completely change. Everything is evolving. We also have over here from Smoke Dog. This goes back to April of this year with Hidden Road, right? Their offerings include all of these markets, derivatives being, the big one. In December of 2024, Ripple launched its Ripple USD stablecoin focused on institutions. The coin would use XRP to help add liquidity. We know that they want to tap RLUSD in with all of this. So if we're thinking about what Hidden Road is doing with 300 plus institutional clients, they're settling $3+ trillion per year. That's, set to grow astronomically. If we're thinking about all of this, and we're thinking about how customers are already opting to hold RLUSD for derivatives, and we go back to what the CFTC launched in September, and we now see that Binomial is expanding, right? This is huge for offering spot crypto. This is a derivatives exchange. And we also know that Binomial is already tapped in with stablecoin initiatives for derivatives. We can clearly see that just from their website here from November 3rd. It's very clear that RLUSD is getting integrated into the derivatives market, and XRP is also supported, and XRP is also a big piece of this through this infrastructure. But you can't say that with what Ripple is building, they're building out a derivatives infrastructure. What they're building out is a all-in-one platform and infrastructure for every single financial market. Every single asset out there in the world can move over this platform that they have created. It's a complete infrastructure. And the names that they're working with are all centered around the largest markets in the world. FX, derivatives. I mean, this is crazy to see with all these connections. This is why I keep saying to everyone, you need to sometimes connect the dots, look at all of the moves that have been made, especially even in the last 2 years. People think, oh, 2 years ago, that's a long time. No, these things take time. When you are disrupting a market that, derivatives, it's hard to put a valuation on it. 700 trillion to possibly 1+ quadrillion. When you're disrupting that amount of money, it's going to take time. It's going to take time, but derivatives have always been a big focus from the XRP community. Since going all the way back to like 2018, 2019. And today it's becoming a reality because every single financial asset is moving on chain. Stablecoins are enabling some of these huge use cases as well. That's why everything that Ripple is doing, every move that they make is extremely strategic. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely like, subscribe, notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out, guys.
So with
President
that
Trump signing
said,
multiple executive orders on it.
I guess we can shut it down. Thanks for joining. Thanks for sharing, and subscribing, and super chats. And as always, let's get back to the money, guys, and stay dangerous. It's your main man, BTM, signing out. It's okay, Nick. You can always go back and rewatch it. A lot of good information. So why aren't the professional analysts of Wall Street connecting these same dots? Because go back and watch the video. I'm just playing. But seriously, because they're trying to get you to sell so they can buy it and sell it back to you. But as always, guys, gotta let you go. And I might gear up for a Zbic video shortly. So, as always, let's get back to the money, guys, and stay dangerous. Miners out.